Stage 2 starts off by giving us the cross. For my hard-earned hearts, the cross is the most efficient and deadly weapon in the game. That is because it costs only 1 heart to fire, and it's a boomerang, so it can hit twice. They're very good to spam if you have the double or triple shot, but if you don't, you can reduce the time that the first one is on screen and thus increase your fire rate by staying level with where you've thrown the cross, because it doesn't leave the screen until it actually leaves the screen or until it touches you again. Now that Spear Knight down there may seem like he is poorly placed if his goal is to hurt anybody, but in fact that's a clue to see that he's guarding something, in this case a double shot. Now we can have 2 crosses on the screen at the same time, and enemies better look out, because being able to fire both low and high cuts off most of their room to dodge. Not that many of the enemies dodge in the first place, but of the enemies that do dodge, there are some pretty annoying ones. For example, the Medusa heads, another series staple, although I wish they wouldn't be. I like how they're introduced here. They don't spawn randomly, they only spawn when you're in certain sections of the level, and they do so on a regular basis. And they also move up and down in the same pattern all the time. Once you know their pattern, they're largely easy to dodge. Although things get a little more complicated up here when we mix in Medusa heads with pits. Now, even though I know and you know that there is a level down there that I could fall to through those pits, it's actually just instant death. And if you're hit by any Medusa heads on your way there, you'll probably just die. So hope you learned how to avoid them in the previous floor. We got a pot roast there, just in case you took some hits from the Medusa heads on the floor below. And the triple shot there makes us incredibly deadly. There are 2 main strategies that I would recommend for actually trying to clear the game. One is to get a triple shot of holy water. That makes it so that you're able to easily defeat the stage 5 boss, which is, in my opinion, the hardest in the game. And the other is to get a triple shot of the cross and keep it till the end of the game, which is my choice because it's decent against both the stage 5 boss and the final boss. Now there's another pot roast right there, but there's no real need for it. In fact, I'm not really certain why it's there, because if you get hit by a Medusa head in the previous screen, you're probably going to die, which is exactly what happens if you touch any of these crushers. Their hit detection is also notoriously bad, so be very careful with them, or you might find yourself dead. I don't really know what causes those spirits to spawn, but they're not really threatening. This is another area where the double shot would appear, if it was necessary, but it's not, so it's just a blank space. And this area also introduces the Bone Towers. Bone Towers are another series staple. You have to hit them 6 times, and they intermittently throw out fireballs, which you can destroy with a shot from any weapon. It's nice of them to not put any bottomless pits when they're introduced, much like the Medusa heads, because it would really suck if you didn't know their gimmick and you got knocked into the pit as a result. Castlevania is actually a very fair game in that respect. They always introduce things to you in a non-lethal way before putting pits in front of it. On to the boss. The boss is Medusa. It's kind of a joke. She spits snakes at you from time to time, but largely just tries to fly into you at arm length, which means that you can go to town on her with crosses, holy water, knives, whips, anything you want. And that will do it for Stage 2.